CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening and thanks for being with us on this Monday, September 29th. The largest employer in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma Steel, is getting $500 million from the federal and the provincial governments. The loans announced today are to combat the impact of the trade war with the United States. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has the details.
We need Algoma Steel to survive and thrive.
Ottawa is contributing $400 million, with the Ontario government adding $100 million for a critical loan to help Algoma Steel weather the storm from American tariffs. The significant price tag means that the steelmaker will remain viable, even with the door closed to an American market that previously made up the majority of its business.
We see a future for Algoma being a bedrock of the Canadian steel industry, and we see that future even if the 50% tariff remains as a permanent or long-term feature of the trading relationship.
With Algoma being the country's only Canadian-owned steelmaker, Haidu says they were at the top of the list for federal support.
We do have other steel companies in Canada. They're not Canadian-owned. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if we don't have Canadian-owned steel companies, then we are vulnerable to the whims of other countries, other markets, and we can't have that.
Neither Haidu nor Garcia would speak to the terms of the loan, but a government fact sheet on the large enterprise tariff loan outlines that 75% of the loan will need to be paid back in 7 years. Aside from simply staying afloat, the loan allows Algoma Steel to change operations in relation to market needs.
Right now, we don't have enough demand for our coil business, so we're going to be reducing some of that production going forward, and we have to understand what do we diversify to. Is it going to be beams? Is it going to be rail? Other forms of steel? And that's the work we're doing now.
Garcia says Algoma Steel has not secured any new contracts in recent months, but has had discussions with companies in both Canada and Europe. Once the electric arc furnace is producing low-carbon steel, he expects it will lead to more contract talks across the globe. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
While steel is getting a boost today, Cap Paper has had to announce the idling of operations in Kapuskasing. In a news release, the company announced it would begin winding down operations. Cap Paper executives had been working toward federal loans through the Strategic Response Fund. Officials say while those discussions were positive, the timing doesn't seem to be aligning. In a statement, Cap Paper CEO Terry Skivington says, in part, we've done everything in our power to keep the mill operating, adding our employees are the best in the North, and our priority now is supporting them with dignity and clarity. The province also reacting today, Minister of Natural Resources Mike Harris and Kevin Holland, Associate Minister of Forestry and Forest Products, issued a statement today saying, in part, we have continuously pushed the federal government to come to the table as an equal partner standing up for Canadian forestry jobs, and adding they are deeply disappointed that the federal government has failed to join us in providing the immediate support required. The province had provided more than $50 million in financial support. And we'll have reaction for you on this announcement in our 6 o'clock newscast. Time now for your first check on weather. We are coming off a beautiful weekend and a nice day out there today. To tell us more, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Tony, the best thing about today and the weekend is that no one's complaining. You just love the weather forecast. Your first take on weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at getcaa.ca. Of course, you can see the systems map and no traces really of precipitation whatsoever, at least affecting the Northeast as we know it right now. Maybe a little bit later on in a few days, but we'll get to that in the 7-day forecast and the 5-day forecast still to come. And just ahead of National Truth and Reconciliation Day, sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow, just the way it should be. So we'll talk about that and a lot more with the 5-day forecast. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. A fatal crash this morning on Highway 101 in Porcupine, east of Timmins. Provincial police say the collision involved a car and an SUV. Police say one person was taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Right now, the road is closed between Gervais Street North to Falcon Street in Porcupine. This stretch of road is expected to be shut down for an extended period of time. An 8-year-old child was killed Friday evening after two ATVs collided in Plummer Additional Township, about 30 kilometers northwest of Thessalon. Emergency crews were called to a field along Cloudsley Road where police say two ATVs collided. The child was ejected from the vehicle and was taken to the hospital in Thessalon. Despite the child having worn a helmet, they succumbed to their injuries. North Bay police have charged a 20-year-old man with impaired driving after two parked vehicles were hit early Saturday morning. Police say the driver lost control at a corner, leaving the road and striking two parked vehicles around 3 a.m. in the Marshall Park Drive area. The man fled the scene, but police were able to track him down. He was arrested and transported to hospital with minor injuries. The suspect has been charged with dangerous driving, failing to remain at the scene of an accident, and also faces 2 impaired driving charges. 39 full and part-time Timmins transit workers have rejected a tentative agreement reached Friday and are now on strike. The city's chief administrative officer says officials with CUPE Local 1544 haven't let him know when the two sides can return to the bargaining table. However, Dave Lander says the strike is affecting hundreds of students traveling to and from Northern College, people going to work, and individuals who have medical appointments.
We think that we offered a fair contract. We had offered adjustments to wages right off the start, and then an economic increase on top of that. So, I mean, in year one, a driver would have been looking at about a 7.5% salary increase. And, I'm not sure how they reject that deal or how we restructure something moving forward, but we'll wait to hear from them.
And CTV reached out to CUPE 1544 but did not receive a response by our broadcast. For those impacted by the strike, the city says to visit timmins.ca for the latest information. It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now, though, we're heading to North Bay on a live webcam. This shot is courtesy of the city of North Bay. Sunshine and 23 degrees. We are back in a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, I guess by the reception I'm getting from a lot of people earlier this morning at the grocery store and elsewhere around the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, people are really enjoying the forecast that we've got going right now with loads of sunshine. After that nasty rain last week, it's been much better the last couple of days. There you can see some slight cloud cover. It'll clear up by tomorrow in some sectors, as you will see, but no precipitation. Let's check out some of the numbers now. You'll like this for really National Truth and Reconciliation tomorrow, 17 in Greater Sudbury. Beautiful day. Wednesday, sunshine. Thursday, some sun and cloud. Friday, some sunshine. And Saturday, some cloud as well. But take a look at the temperatures. Beautiful for this time of the year as we get ready for October. 17, 18, 19, and 23 as things perk up. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, gradual clearing tomorrow at 20, sun and cloud for a couple of days, 19 and 21, then 25 on Friday. Great way to start the weekend, but the cloud rolls in on Saturday at 22. Meanwhile, in Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, clearing tomorrow, 15 your high, 18 Wednesday, 21 on Thursday. We got a chance of showers here on Friday. 24 degrees, then some cloud cover on Saturday, again at 24. So again, let's roll the dice on Friday and see what that 30% number means in terms of precipitation. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, we start off with a couple of days of sunshine at 16 and 17, upwards to 20 on Thursday, some sun and cloud. Friday, some sunshine at 24. Wow, 26 on Saturday with the sun and cloud. That's going to be a great day. So once we escape tomorrow night's low of 1, it starts to get warmer at night as well, 9, 12, and again, another night of 12-degree weather. North B, West Nipissing, here we go. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 17 and 19 your highs, 23 on Friday, and Saturday we've got some sun and cloud at 24. Even the evening temperatures look great, 2, 6, 9, 14, and 13. This is almost like early August weather. So again, Tony, half-decent forecast for the week. As that trend continues, loads of sunshine. We talked about it on Friday. It'll continue for the next couple of days in the Northeast. Let's all enjoy.
Thanks so much for that, Rick. Tomorrow marks the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Canadians will recognize the long-lasting multi-generational effects of the residential school system. Ahead of the symbolic day, the city of North Bay raised the Every Child Matters flag. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
A gentle breeze blows the Every Child Matters flag, so the words are visible for all to see.
There are still in Canada over 80,000 survivors of residential schools.
The city raised the flag in front of a crowd of about 50 wearing orange shirts, reflecting on the lessons, how to heal and move forward. Morris Switzer spoke about his grandfather's escape from an industrial training school, part of the residential school system.
My grandparents eventually had about 72 grandchildren, and including me, and we don't know if that would have been the case if he hadn't run away.
Switzer is challenging everyone to learn about the 94 calls to action that came from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report, which acknowledged the full, horrifying residential school history and aims to create systems to prevent these abuses from ever happening again.
We all want Canada to be better, and the best way, there's an old saying in strategic planning that unless you know where you come from, you can never really know where you're going.
The latest census from 4 years ago finds a little over 10% of North Bay's population identifies as Indigenous. So the city started mandatory Indigenous learning for its staff members.
We feel that it's important that all of our staff are aware because that's the only way that healing happens.
The North Bay Indigenous Friendship Centre will be holding a walk to the waterfront tomorrow morning, followed by a short ceremony.
Take time to reflect on, how lucky we are as Canadians to share the land.
There are sad chapters in history, but how Indigenous peoples have rebounded.
And while tomorrow will bring some sadness and pain for some, there's also hope for a brighter future. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The numbers are up. Coming up on CTV News at 5, we head to Gore Bay where things are looking up at the local airport. A Juno-nominated musician from Northern Ontario is part of a program designed to bring Indigenous music and storytelling to classrooms across Canada. CTV's Amanda Hicks has his story.
The song is called Kayash, a Cree word for before. It was born on the lands of Attawapiskat First Nation, where roots rocker Adrian Sutherland calls home.
It's tradition to honor our ancestors and the people that came before us, not only the people that came before us, but the people that are here today and are going to follow in our footsteps as well.
Sutherland's song will be featured in a curriculum-based program called Ancestors Voices, an initiative created by the Coalition of Music Education in Canada. The free resource showcases Indigenous voices year-round in honor of National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
We're, so happy to spotlight, Adrian's music and Indigenous voices. And of course, the program is all, Adrian's words, and then an Indigenous music educator does the learning guide.
Now in its second year, Sinclair says the program saw a great response last year.
We had 83,000 students registered to access the materials. So we were absolutely blown away by the response. Our goal was 10,000 students, so that was about close to 500 schools that had signed up.
As Kayash reaches classrooms nationwide, Sutherland says it's not just a lesson in music, but a vital step in preserving the Cree language.
It's also important for me as a language speaker to help do my part in protecting the language, and hopefully, these songs will live on and people can go back and listen and learn.
To ensure Indigenous stories and spirit resonate with a new generation. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The newly renovated Gore Bay Airport has been in use for over a year now, but the community got to celebrate the project that was 4 years in the making over the weekend. $4.2 million in federal funding allowed management to build a facility which features a grand piano, fatigue management center, a kitchen, boardroom, CBSA office for customs arrivals, and office for the flying club. While many airports are struggling with carriers, the Gore Bay Airport is focused on growth.
We're more, for the charter aircraft, the corporate charter aircraft from the States. We are a port of entry, so that allows us to have U.S. flights arrive here and clear customs right at the airport. We're also a certified aerodrome, and that's really important in terms of how we operate the airport and the standards that we have to comply to. And this upgrade has really opened the doors for us for our future. It was our airport, or our terminal building before, was getting rather tired and wore out. So we have a fresh new start, and the future is looking very bright for us.
Caldwell says he's been at the airport for 30 years and it would average 2,000 takeoffs and landings a year. He says the airport is now realizing 4,000 to 5,000. Caldwell expects that to increase over the years. 3 technology and artificial intelligence companies are receiving money from the federal government. The funding will support Circuit IQ, Wave, and the Ontario First Nations Technical Services Corporation. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
On behalf of FedNor Minister Patty Hadou, Sudbury's MP Vivian Lapointe made the announcement today.
I'm very pleased to announce a FedNor investment of close to $600,000 to support not 2, but 3 technology different initiatives.
3 northern companies received a repayable investment that they say is allowing for more technology growth.
We're just hoping that as we complete this project and launch new projects, we'll just be able to keep expanding and create job opportunities not only in Sudbury, but also in just generally in Northern Ontario.
I know directly this is going to create 6 jobs just for the development of the technology, but the service that it's going to create hundreds of jobs.
There were 3 companies that we're investing in today, and as we know that they'll end up creating really good paying jobs right here in the north in our communities.
Each business says it's filling a nationwide gap in services utilizing artificial intelligence, including streamlining medical patient forms or finding a solution to electrical mapping systems.
Sudbury is becoming a hub for technology and innovation, and we're seeing that more and more. Some of the companies that we're investing in today actually moved their operations and brought them here to Sudbury because of that hub that we're creating. So these investments are really important.
The funding lets us move as fast as possible, lets us access really great talent and compensate them so that they are happy here in Northern Ontario.
The 2 technology companies have plans for growth and product implementation over the next few years, crediting the funding from the federal government for assisting in their process. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
And still ahead, we catch up with our friends over at Pure Country. You're watching First at 5.
Well, despite being the end of September, Coop and I are dressed for lots of sunshine. And Coop, there's a very special reason for that, a Pure Country first.
Oh my goodness, Pure Country Passport officially kicks off, well, this coming Friday. But what's really cool is we're giving you the opportunity to win an all-inclusive vacation for 2 to Sandals South Coast in, somebody say Jamaica?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamaica. Not just one of these trips being given away either. Multiple of these trips for 2 to Jamaica, as Coop mentioned, Sandals South Coast, all inclusive for a week.
You should really look this place up. It is amazing. A bunch of these trips to give away, and it's pretty simple too as to how you can qualify. You're going to listen for code words starting this coming Friday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Pure Country Radio, and you just need to submit those code words on our website for a chance to win. It's so easy.
That is all it takes, and then every single weekday for the next few weeks, we will be giving away those trips for 2 to Jamaica, Sandals South Coast. It's all powered by Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean. If you want to get those details, go to purecountry917.ca, and remember to listen on the dial 91.7 FM or on the completely free iHeartRadio app.
Time to recap the weekend that was in the OHL. Let's start Friday night in Kingston, where it was a barn burner between the Sioux Greyhounds and the Frontenacs.
McGowan behind his net. Tried to make the short feed to Williamson, but it was blocked. Smith trying to bring it out front. Williamson put it right onto the stick and off.
This little tip-in more than halfway through the first period would end up being Jordan Charon's second goal of the night. There was a lot of back and forth, and it would come down to a shootout for these two. Greyhounds' Quinn McKenzie would be the only one of the 10 players in the shootout to score. Greyhounds take it 5-4. Sudbury Wolves were also on the road Friday night, and that game stung as Sarnia beat them 6-1. Sudbury would take another beating Saturday in Brantford, where the Bulldogs clocked a 7-2 victory. And the hits kept coming for Northern fans Sunday. The North Bay Battalion took an early penalty that the Kingston Frontenacs would capitalize on, winning that game 2-1. Meanwhile, the Greyhounds were in Ottawa. They limp away from that one as the 67s win 7-3. And here are the standings after a dozen games were played in the NOJHL this past weekend. The Hearst Lumberjacks continue to sit atop the standings with 14 points. The Powassan Voodoos and Espanola Paper Kings even at 10 points apiece, but Powassan has only lost one game out of the 6 they played. At the other end of the standings, the French River Rapids and the Sioux Eagles are yet to get a win. A St. Charles couple is set to retire after winning Sudbury's Health Sciences North 50-50 lottery. Nancy Trache and her husband Frank have been supporting the HSN Foundation for years. The couple won a little more than $440,000, which they say they'll use to help their kids, but also to kick back and spend some time together, with Frank announcing his retirement when they picked up their check. And the September 50-50 winner of the Timmins Hospital Lottery went to Lucy Musso of Timmins. She won more than $128,000. Lucy once worked at the hospital as a switchboard operator. Lucy hasn't decided what to do with the money, but a new vehicle may be in the cards. Congratulations. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.